All right, welcome. There is a topic I wanted to cover really quickly. Again, it came up because somebody sent me a message, and I said, you know what, I'll come up with something. Somebody sent me a message. They were confused. Okay, and it's just too many people. Actually, I've gotten quite a lot of messages around this because sometimes it's almost like I'm talking from both sides of my mouth, and sometimes I'm not unique in a word. This is YouTube, so it's kind of hard for me to personalize some of these lessons. It's hard to go too hard, okay? So, but every now and then I'll bring some of these lessons. I'll try to knock them out as a warm up into the show, and then we'll also have that ready for you for replay at some point, okay? But 5 signs that the universe wants you to be with your ex. Some of you are probably like, my ex. If you feel like you don't want to be with your ex, that's perfectly fine. The universe is obviously telling you don't be with your ex, right? But there's a reason why somebody will be asking a question around, maybe they made a mistake for leaving in the first place or not. There's a reason why they're asking. Obviously, they are trying to figure things out. They have some things, maybe some unfinished business to iron out. Maybe they really should be moving forward, face forward. Never know, right? But I'm going to give you these 5 signs. This 5 signs is not absolute or anything like that, because again, all of this will completely depend on your particular situation, your particular story. All right, that's what it will depend on. I'm going to give you these 5 signs. If you're seeing these 5 signs, at the point that you've seen these 5 signs, then maybe you should engage wise counsel and talk to someone, because there's a reason why the relationship fell apart in the first place. Okay. And oftentimes you might just be caught up in your feelings. You might just need to keep it moving. All right. So let's talk about it really quickly. Sign number 5. You're starting to see all kind of coincidences everywhere. Like, it just seems like everything is aligning. It looks like maybe you notice you're seeing that person's car. Maybe you're having flashes and stuff like that, right? Maybe, but there's no one single sign that would determine if you get back with your ex. There's no one single sign, okay? Usually, this will align with a few other signs. But this is the first one. You're noticing that, there's some things that just keep coming back to you. Maybe spiritually, maybe psychologically, maybe you keep reflecting back on the past. Who knows? But that's sign number 5, coincidences. Number 4 is kind of close, intuition. Some people say, well, there's no such thing as intuition. Well, if you have to say that, that means there is, okay? If you have to say there's no such thing as intuition, that means there is. If you have to argue against your destiny, that means something exists to make you having to argue against your destiny. Right? So that's number 7. If your intuition is telling you that maybe, then, consider that one additional sign. Remember, there's no one single sign that will indicate that you need to get back with your ex. As a matter of fact, what I want you to pay more attention to is that there's a reason why that situation ended in the first place. There are higher chances it will still end if you don't pay attention to that, okay? So that's number 4. Your intuition, something is telling you that maybe you made the wrong move. Then maybe you made the wrong move. Maybe they made the wrong. Now, if they absolutely don't want to be a part of your story ever again, then you can cancel out all of the signs, okay? Because now we're talking about your self-respect, your self-esteem, and I need you to have some. Thank you. Sign number 3, you start to notice that there are opportunities to continue to have conversations with this person, right? There's opportunities everywhere. Remember I said maybe you keep running into them. Maybe you have to end up at the same workplace from time to time. Well, that's an obvious opportunity, right? You want to be careful with that. But if it's not exactly work, but you notice maybe you live in the same area, not only did somebody assign you guys together for some project, even though you don't work together in the same company, you end up at the same event. That same week, you found out that you came across them at the grocery stores. If this aligns with some other signs, then maybe it's not as bad as you thought it was. Maybe you should pay attention, right? Again, just a sign, right? Ain't they an ex for a reason? Okay, for law. That's what I'm saying. I said there's a reason why that person was an ex. You want to pay attention to that, right? Yep. Let me see. Dilo says, I'm moving my hand over my head, chanting to fiaka. God forbid bad thing. There you go. If you feel that way, that's a sign you shouldn't. If you feel this way, that is a sign you should not get back with your ex. Okay. All right. So let's go to number 2. We're just warming up. We're warming up. Sign number 2, rose gold colored lens. So we tend to look into the past with rose gold colored lenses, right? Particularly if the so sometimes you left each other, whatever happened, but when you start to reflect into the past, you tend to reflect with rose gold color lens, as long as, especially if they're not in your face every time, right? You start to look at all the good times, you start to remember all the good times, and that might start messing with your mind. This is just one sign. It's just one sign. There's no one single sign that will equate to you must get back with your ex. But if this sign aligns with a few other signs, then you might want to pay attention to it. Because let me tell you something. There's nothing. The grass always seems greener on the other side, And sometimes you end up on the other side and you find out like, maybe I shouldn't have moved too quick, So because of that, it might even be easier with regards to that. It might be easier for you to start to reflect into the past and say, we had such good times and stuff like that. Chinye, welcome, right? You might start to reflect and say, look, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, If that one sign aligns with a few other signs, then you might want to pay attention to that, okay? Sign number 1, you still have a connection with them. You feel like you still have a connection with them. If you don't feel like you have a connection with them, you'll be saying things like tufiaka. You'll be saying things like tufiaka, right? Because you don't have a connection with that person. You're done. Dusted off. You're keeping moving, right? But if you had a connection with that person, it's usually not that simple, right? But connection is just one sign. Connection may be playing tricks on your mind. You might actually need to be, again, moving all the way forward. But I get it. Sometimes, maybe we'll pull the trigger way too fast, But let me say this. Let me end this with this, right? If the other person actually checked out on you, if they unilaterally decided to end the relationship, again, cancel out all of the signs. Okay, the only sign you should be looking for is for the right person. They are usually not. If they checked out on you, you need to keep it moving. Okay, you need to keep it moving. You need to have some self-respect and keep it moving. There's a reason why they checked out, and if they checked out one time before, there are chances they might check out again. Okay, that is not an absolute. I'm just saying, even if they check out, at least wait for them to initiate again. Before you even consider any of the signs. At least wait. Waiting doesn't mean you're waiting. Let me check that immediately, right? Don't be waiting around for a person that already said they don't want to do anymore. Okay? Don't be waiting around. If it's been long and they left more than 3 months, and they don't be waiting around for that. What I'm saying is that none of these signs are valid unless the person is trying to initiate back with you again. Okay? If they left you, take that as the universe giving you signs to keep it moving. You might feel rejected, but trust me, it gets better with time, especially if you understand this simple reality I just told you. There's a reason why they left, okay? And it might has nothing to do with you, but clearly they don't want to be there. And the last thing you want to do is hanging around waiting for that kind of person. So those are the signs right there that you want to look for. Coincidences, intuition, opportunities keep presenting themselves. Obviously you have to see them as opportunities. If you see it as tufiaka, is it tufiakwa? Jesus, I'm struggling. Okay, it's like zukwanuke all the way, all over again. Anyway, if you're seeing if you're seeing the idea of this X as a threat, then obviously sign 3 is cancelled out, right? Rose gold color lens, you keep looking into the past, you keep reflecting into the past, you're remembering all the good times. That's a good sign, but one sign, there's no one sign that makes up a good reason to get back with your ex. And sign number one is there's a connection. You feel a sense of connection, and just keep in mind that connection can be deceptive as well. All right, so I want to know, what are your thoughts about this? Do you feel like no, hell no? Different, if you feel that way, let me know in the chat, in the comment later on. If you feel like I have a question around this and stuff like that, you can hit me up. You could just go to manofprestige.com. You see access to contact information and stuff like that up there. All right, and then we can talk about it. But if you have just very differing opinions, thoughts around this, or additional context you want to add onto this, or some other signs that you have at the back of your mind that you felt like, this was the sign I looked at and I got back with my ex, please feel free to share. I'll be right back in about 20 seconds. Let's get to the next topic.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.